What's going on, guys? I am at one of the largest reptile shows in the country. This is the Pomona Reptile Super Show, and in this video, I'm going to go around booth to booth and show you guys some of the most amazing hognose morphs that are at this expo. We're going to start right now. You know who's holding the camera? Oh, look. It's Brian Cusco.
Hi, Dave Kaufman.
Hi, Brian Cusco. All right, well, we're going to go see some hognose snakes, because you got ball pythons, and that's not what this video is about.
I've got hognose on my table.
I don't think you do.
I'm Dave Kaufman, and these are my Reptile Adventures.
So Steve Sykes is somebody who I have featured repeatedly on this channel when I do videos here at Pomona. And he's known for being a leopard gecko breeder, which he is one of the most talented leopard gecko breeders in the world. But did you guys know he also does a lot of hognose morphs, and he is going to show us some morphs that are literally going to blow your brain away. It did mine, but my brain has been gone for many, many years. All right, Steve Sykes from Geckos, etc. It would not be Pomona without seeing you here. Yep. So you are obviously known as a leopard gecko guy, but not a lot of people know that you also do a ton of really cool colubrids.
We do.
And you've got a couple of really cool ones to show us what you got.
Yes. So what I have to show you is a really cool gene in hognose called the Swiss chocolate.
Ooh,
there's a beauty right there.
Let's pop that lid.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, that may be one of the most amazing hognose snakes. Look at that dude. Okay, so explain the genetics to us.
Sure, so it's a recessive gene. It darkens them up, changes their pattern a little bit too. They kind of get like a kind of an underlying spotty pattern. You know, it's not the same normal saddles. I'm working with Jules Toth in Switzerland, who's the originator of this morph. He actually produced this snake and the other ones that I have for sale here. It's super cool, super exciting. It's a pretty new gene. Definitely a lot of things that can be done with this. Combining this with all the other recessive morphs, you can really make some crazy, cool new combos that at this point are, unknown.
You know, I would love to see this with Arctic. If anybody ever produces this gene with Arctic, that would blow me away. Too bad that's never been done yet before.
Well, Dave, you are in luck. I got something else to show you that's really cool. So this is an Arctic Swiss chocolate. So you can see the effect of the Arctic, lightens it up there.
Look at that.
Yeah. So.
Well, this is the first I've ever seen of this particular gene. And am I correct in believing that you are the only one in the United States that has these?
No, there's other people that have them.
Oh, well. These are just amazing.
They are super cool. It's always, there's a lot of excitement in hognose right now with all the genes that have come out in the last few years. And, you know, when you have another base morph that's just on the inception of getting going, I mean, they're pricey, they're expensive. So really, super serious breeders are investing in Swiss chocolates. They're expensive now. With time, they're going to become more common. With time, this will be a must-have for everyone in their hognose collection.
Well, I remember how much anacondas were when they first came out.
Definitely, yeah.
So what are we talking about for price tag on this?
Well, I got the Swiss chocolate female that I showed you to start. That was $4,500. We have some male Swiss chocolates for $8,000. This one here, I have it listed for $7,250.
$7,250.
This Arctic Swiss chocolate female.
I thought you said expensive.
That's expensive, yes.
So all of these that you have on this side of the table are all really amazing colubrids, really amazing hognoses. What else do we got that's new and interesting around here?
Well, hognose-wise, we are at the time of the year when we have some of our 2023s available. We've sold a lot already. We have a lot of really cool holdbacks that we're keeping from our 2023 season.
So this one is a snow superconda, and this one is a super yeti. And if you're asking what's the difference between a super yeti and a snow superconda, nothing. They're both the same.
Yes.
Yeah. So a snow superconda is called a super yeti.
Yep.
Let's take a look at this dude.
Sure.
Now that is an amazing snake. You know, I remember when leucistics first popped on the scene, and it was an all-white Western hognose snake. Everybody wanted one, everybody still wants one, but then when you have a super yeti like this with pink eyes instead of those black eyes that leucistic has, that is one of the most, I don't know, I think that's one of the prettiest hognose morphs out there, even though it's almost a solid white snake. Steve, you always have something amazing and awesome to show us whenever I'm here. every time I'm here, I'm going to put you on camera. So just get ready.
All right, I'm ready.
All right.
Anytime, Dave.
Great seeing
Always
ya.
good to see you. Thank you.
So you just can't come to Pomona and do a hognose video without talking to Jeff Jr. over at JMG Reptiles. He is one of the pioneers with hognose snake morphs. Wait until you see what he has to show us.
All right, so I've known this dude since 2008, and now Dave's a customer.
That's right.
And a friend.
That's right.
And an awesome dude.
That's
And he has this glorious mane of hair. And
do.
Dave loves Shippy Reptiles.
Yes,
Because-
and with the amount of money that I save on using Shippy Reptiles, I can afford some really nice shampoo.
So for all your reptile shipping needs, visit shipyourreptiles.com or visit the link in the description below. Sorry, they don't sell shampoo.
So we are over here at JMG Reptiles. You are the hognose master. You always have the most amazing hognose snakes.
Thanks,
we
Dave.
are due for a follow-up video.
Yes.
What has it been? 3 years?
From that video when you were over at my place?
Yeah.
Oh man, no, I was that's like 5 years ago.
No way.
It's been like, yeah, look at the timestamp.
Good God, time
It's been like
flown.
5 years.
That's crazy. All right, so in this display, we have some of your best. Look at this, moonbeam.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's see that.
So that's a Super Arctic Lavender Anaconda.
Woo!
Yeah, and that's actually probably one of my favorite ones I brought here.
Holy crap, look at that.
Yeah, so she has like a nice lavender base and like dark grayish purple blotching.
That is maybe one of the best looking hog noses I've ever seen, except for all the other really amazing hog noses I've ever seen. Every video I'm like, oh my God, this is my favorite snake. So if you've been watching my channel long enough, you know I say that sort of stuff. And it's true. I mean, every snake, lizard, reptile in the world is my favorite, and this is no exception. Look at those saddles on them, those lavender hues. This is one amazing hognose. I love that head stamp. And what's this guy running?
5,000.
5,000.
Not too bad. You could buy a couple.
That's right. That is an investment quality hognose right there. Wow, that is amazing. All right, we also have
Yeah, that one's pretty cool. We have the Lemon Ghost Woma Conda.
Lemon Ghost Woma Conda for 1,900 bucks. Lemon Ghost is another one of my favorite hognose morphs. So you are the originator of the Lemon Ghost. I remember years ago when you first unveiled this.
It's been one of my longest selectively line-bred projects that I've been working with, just in general. So I've been working on this. I got my first real high yellow hognose. I started selectively line breeding when I was in my early teens, and this has been going since then.
That is absolutely spectacular. I love the lemon color on him. I love those saddles. Look at how uniform those saddles are.
Yeah, so you have the incomplete dominant conda trait interacting with the Woma, which is the banding. But the banding's kind of broken up because of the Woma, but you kind of have the best of both worlds. You have the big kind of like banding, but it's broken up into blotches because of the anaconda gene. And then you have the Lemon Ghost coloration there. So the Woma is also selectively line bred, so you have two selectively line bred / polygenics going on, Lemon Ghost and Woma, and then the incomplete dominant gene Conda.
That is one amazing morph. All right, let's take a look at the Color Blast. I mean, this guy glows in the dark. So this is 3250. Let's take a look at this one.
The cool thing is she's not even as red as she's going to be at this point. They get more red with age. They kind of max out once they're adults. So this female will get considerably more red than what you're seeing right here and right now.
And what are the genetics on this snake?
This is a Super Anaconda albino, and then it's just a culmination of my best red lineages combined that I've been working on ever since I was like probably around like 17, 18 years old. I've included extreme red into this, purple line, and my own lineage of red phase. And my color blasts are the ones that typically get the most red in the background, and a lot of times they get purple between the scales. But on the super condas, I'm not usually seeing the purple between the scales. I'm usually seeing it more on the condas and the normals. So the color blast lineage is basically a culmination of my best red lineages, the albinos. Like my color blast lineage was showing them off into super conda form, because a lot of my super conda color blasts, once they're adults, are basically almost solid red with very little coloration like whites on the side.
That is amazing. So you've got the best of both worlds. You've got the best of line breeding and the best of genetics in this one
I like
snake.
line breeding a lot.
Absolutely, and look at the results. Wow, that is absolutely fantastic. All right, I think we've got time to see one more awesomeness, and that is the Super Arctic Sunburst.
That's a good one too.
That is amazing. So that's $4,800 for this snake.
So this one's a double recessive. It's sable and albino, and then it's got the Super Arctic incomplete dominant gene too. So you got three homozygous there. You got homozygous albino, homozygous sable, and homozygous Arctic, the Super Arctic.
Wow.
And these are pretty cool. They actually range a lot. I have some that are like light pink and like kind of like whitish sherbet color, and then some are like electric pink. This one's like kind of in between. This guy's pretty nice pink, but he's not as pink as they get. I have some that are like electric pink.
If you're ever at an expo, you see JMG, he has the most amazing hog noses there are. Always good to see you.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
We'll do a follow-up soon.
All right, cool.
Cool. So it's not just the big names and hog noses that we should show all of our love and attention to. There's a lot of other local breeders right here in Pomona in the Southern California area that are doing amazing things with hognose snakes. And namely, that would be Matt at SoCal Herps. Over here we have Jimmy Cruz, look at that face paint. Over here we have Brian Cusco, look at that non-face paint. You guys have ball pythons, which isn't about this video, but Matt over here has some amazing hog noses.
Whoa.
Matt from SoCal Herps, how are you?
Doing great, Dave.
Excellent,
Doing great.
excellent. So you have also some really amazing hog noses that we're about to take a look at. What's the first thing we're going to see here?
We're going to take a look at an Arctic coral.
Arctic coral.
So Arctic coral is albino and lavender put together. And then we have the Arctic gene, which kind of makes it all nice and freckly and brings out the white.
Wow, and under this light, look at how those eyes just glow. Yeah, that is a pretty amazing snake. This guy is, what does that say, 4,000?
4,000.
So how long have you been breeding hog noses?
I've been breeding hognose for 8 years now.
8 years?
Yeah.
And you specialize exclusively in hognose snakes?
I do also collared lizards. I do red-eye crocodile skinks.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I've been doing red-eye crocodile skinks for 15 years.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, so hognose number 1, Arctic coral, $4,000 right here at Matt's table. What else do we got to take a look at here?
Let us take a look at the albino super Arctic conda.
All right, so here we have an albino super Arctic conda. You know, I remember when the first albino anacondas came out, everybody's jaw dropped. Now that we're seeing what other genes are being stacked onto that combo, it's even more jaw dropping.
I mean, when the super Arctic came out, that was just a game changer in the hognose world.
Right.
It was the biggest thing since the anaconda gene.
100%. And so now the Arctic gene is a base morph. It's basically puts a lot of white back into the snake.
It does.
Therefore, Arctic.
Exactly. Puts a lot of white back into it, and then when you do Arctic to Arctic, it intensifies that white and that the black gene in there.
Absolutely.
And this makes them, even more pop, even crazier. And then their actual pupil just turns almost a solid color. You can see that ruby red eye in the albino gene.
Yeah.
And then with this normal super Arctic, it makes it just a completely black-eyed snake.
Okay, that is amazing. And then look at those scoops. Look at the belly pattern on it. It's got a lot of light on it, so it looks pink, but that is a really white belly. Oh, that is absolutely an amazing morph. We've got time for one more.
One more?
All right, so here's a gene that was really popular, and now you don't really see a lot of them, and that's the toffee belly. Why don't we see a lot of toffee bellies anymore?
I just think, it's too close resembled to like an albino gene.
Yeah.
Really. And I think I don't know. I personally think it's actually better than the actual albino because you don't get that red eye. And
I
a lot of
agree.
people
I agree. Toffee belly is a great gene that,
Let's take a look
I'm
at this
not
guy
sure
right
exactly why people, they didn't shy away from it.
They didn't shy away from
it.
it?
It's an issue or a
No,
genetic
and then the
issue,
belly
but-
actually looks, that's how you get that name, toffee
Yeah.
belly. Look at the belly. It's just very toffee colored.
That's right. I mean, this is one of my favorite hognose morphs, for sure.
Yeah.
And this one is a toffee belly conda. It's a simple gene combo, but it just makes for a really amazing looking hognose snake.
I don't know, that toffee and the conda just, these saddles just turn that nice, almost ruby, toffee red color to it.
Right. It's just an overall really beautiful morph that just doesn't get a lot of
Doesn't get a lot of love.
It doesn't get a lot of love.
Yeah.
Right. Matt, these are some amazing hognose snakes. I always see you at the show. We hang out.
Yeah.
You're a great guy. I'm glad I finally got to film you and your hognose snakes. Thanks for showing these off. These are amazing.
Dave, appreciate your time as always, sir.
Absolutely. All right, so next up on our hognose tour of the Pomona Reptile Super Show, we're going to go over to Exotic Fire Hognose, talk to my buddy Eslin. He also has some amazing hognoses to show off. All right, so over here at Exotic Fire Hogs, I'm meeting with Eslin. You and I are going to do a video together when next time I'm in South Florida. We've been after that for years to do that. It's going to happen. But you're here at Pomona. You've got all of your really amazing hognoses out here. You've got 3 of them to show us. Let's start Ooh, it's the best, I guess. Maybe. I mean, people do the best for last, best for first.
Yeah.
We're just going to show this guy off.
Yeah.
That is a leucistic hognose snake. Let's pop that top.
So leucistic is one of the, I think, most dramatic, simple recessive genes that we have in the hognose scene right now. Considering that it strips basically all the pattern and the color.
Right.
And it also darkens the eyes a little bit. It makes them more of a sleek gray. Their bellies are actually really cool too, where they hatch out pink where you could see pretty much all the inside.
Yeah.
And then as it gets older, the white takes over. So it's a pretty cool gene. It's been around probably about 8-9 years or so right now.
Yeah, actually the first ones were found in Colorado, I believe, way back in 2009.
Yeah, and then they got confiscated.
Right, there's a whole story about it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we were just talking about the Lucy hognoses, and here is what they look like. An all-white snake with either black or blue eyes, depending on, you know, your eyesight, I suppose. I mean, some people say it's dark blue, some people say it's black.
Yeah.
Sometimes it does show up as very light blue.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a very simple recessive gene, and this was at one time the most sought-after hognose morph out there.
Yeah.
So what is the price on a leucistic hognose nowadays?
I would say females, being that it takes a little longer to breed, you'll get them for like about $3,000.
$3,000 still.
Yeah.
So they still have a very hefty price tag.
Yeah.
But they're not the $25,000 they used to be just a few years ago.
Correct. About 5-6 years ago. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we've seen a lot of baby Arctic so far. We haven't seen what they look like as adults until now. And this is a sizable girl. Look at this.
Yep. This is what I would consider an above average adult female. She's ranging about 500 grams or so.
That's a big girl.
Yeah. And the Arctic gene is a very cool gene. It was thought out to be a form of Azantic before it was proven out to be an incomplete dominant, which was the reason why they called it the Arctic.
Right.
And then when you breed two Arctics together, you get something called the Super Arctic, which looks like a stormtrooper color, white and black. Yeah. And this girl right here, she's about 4.5 years old. She actually laid 2 clutches this year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I personally, they're one of my favorite species to work with overall, the hognose snake.
Wow, so that is what an Arctic looks like as an adult.
Correct.
And like we talked about earlier, the Arctic is basically a gene that adds a lot of white to the snake, and you can see that they carry that all the way into adulthood.
Yep.
Next, we're going to move on to something really cool, and that is the Arctic Frosted Superconda, which happens to be het albino.
Yep. There's a lot going on with this morph. First of all, frosted is actually 2 genes. You have an Evans hypo, which is a T-positive albino, and then you have a caramel gene as well, which is a T-positive albino. When you breed these two together, even though the eyes look dark, they're not black. It's actually a purple. The tongue as well, it's actually a purple. It's just a very deep purple. And the belly is actually striped, and it's purple as well.
Wow. That is a really amazing morph.
So caramel in itself, being a T-positive form of albino, they have a very cool feature where they have a very reduced head pattern. Usually you see the ears or the bunny ears that people refer to, or the fire. It's very reduced. Even in the head structure in the front, they have a very reduced head pattern, and that's very indicative of the caramel gene. And as well as the very reduced belly. When they hatch out, the belly's actually solid, and then as they mature and shed, they get that stripe down the middle. And the caramel would have the stripe as well, but because this is a double visual between Evans hypo, caramel, and then you add the Arctic on top, it darkens it up more, and then you could see where it's actually like a very dark purple.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So this guy can be yours for only $81,023. Oh, wait a minute, no. $1,600.
Yeah.
That happens to be the date.
Yeah, that was the hatch date.
Has been always great to see you, and again, one of these days when I'm in South Florida, we're going to do an entire episode together.
Yeah.
It's going to happen, I just don't know when.
Yeah,
But
sounds
thanks
like
for
a
showing off
plan.
your hogs. These are awesome.
Thank you very much.
So cool.
Have a good one.
So guys, those are some of the cutting edge hognose morphs that you will find right here at the Pomona Reptile Super Show. Guys, as always, remember that every other Tuesday you will find bonus videos just like this on this channel. So as always, thanks for watching, and until the next reptile adventure, love the planet, feed your reptile obsession, and rattle on.